Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome to my channel. Today I have a review on the Naked Smoky palette that just launched a few days ago. By the time this goes up, it probably will have been a week, and just became available at Sephora. This is the outer packaging of the palette and what it comes in. So yeah, it's nice cardboard here. It's fancy, schmancy, and all that. And then you also do get a sheet that gives you some ideas of how you could potentially use this to create smoky looks on yourself. This is what the palette looks like up close. Packaging is beautiful. You know, this is all raised right here, so that's very nice, and it has the smoky kind of background to it. The back of the palette is kind of also mimics the smoky theme and is translucent, so you can see the shadows on the other side. And the brush inside the palette as well. So that's pretty cool. I do love the packaging. It has a magnetic closure. I'll show you. It has a magnetic closure, open, shut. I love that they added that feature to this, so that's really great. These are the shades inside palette. So you can get a nice good look at them. Really pretty. And here's the brush that it comes with. It comes with and the brush it comes with has a blending out sort of side and then a smudging detail work sort of side. So that is really nice to have included with it. So without any further ado, let's just go ahead and get started with some swatches and then a demo. And at the very end of the video, I will give you my final thoughts on what I think about this new palette from Urban Decay. And no, I was not paid to do this, and I bought it with my own money. Everything I buy and do on my channel is bought with my own money. So I'm going to be giving you my 100% honest opinion on whether or not I think that this is worth its cost and how these perform for me. I'm gonna go ahead and do some live swatches for you guys, and I haven't done them this way before, so bear with me and hopefully this will go all right. Here is the inside of the palette. I have used it, so it's a little messy. They're a little dusty. So we're gonna go ahead and start over here. First color here is High, and it is super sparkly. It's kind of like a rose gold sort of color. It has a beautiful sheen to it. Second color is Bittersweet. Bad swatch. I'm sorry. It's called Dirty Sweet, not Bittersweet. It's called Dirty Sweet, and it's kind of reminds me of a less shimmery version of Half Baked, I suppose. It's kind of it's hard to describing colors. Sorry guys, it's a coppery gold. That's what it comes off to me as, with sheen to it as well. The shade we have is Radar, and it is kind of just a brown shade. I think that this one was a limited edition from one of the Vice palettes. I'm not sure. I have it notated here which shades were the 3 limited edition ones, and then the rest are all brand new shades. But it's kind of just a brown. Next one we have is Armor, and this is super intense and it's beautiful. Out of the whole palette, this is probably one of my favorite shades. I think it's really gorgeous, and yeah, I don't have any bad things to say about it. It's awesome. It's like a gunmetal type color that is almost got a bit of a shift to it. I like it a whole lot. Next shade is called Slanted, and it's kind of like a blue iridescent sort of shade. It is also very gorgeous. Next shade we have is called Dagger, and that is basically the matte counterpart to Slanted. It's nice. It's kind of like a navy sort of blue. On the eyes, it doesn't go on quite the color that it looks in the pan, or that it's swatched right here. Next up we have Black Market, and that is a very black. This is going to be awesome for smoking out the outer portion of your eye or adding depth to the crease or anything you want to do, this will help you do for a smoky eye. Next is Smolder, and this is an eggplant purple type shade. It is also matte. It looks a lot more purple than it swatches, and it even, when you use it on the eye, it is even less purple than it appears here. So that's kind of, eh. Next we have Password. This is kind of a taupe, a taupey gray-brown sort of color, kind of hard to describe, but it's going to be awesome as a transition color. So yeah, it can be used with a lot of different looks. Next up is Whiskey, which is a pretty warm-toned brown in my opinion. Nothing wrong with this color. Kind of boring to me personally, but it works. Next shade is Combust, and that is just a flesh-toned, on the skin it almost takes on a mauve type tone to it. Maybe like a pink undertone, I'm not sure. But it is matte as well. The last shade is called 13, and I don't know if you can see that swatch there, but it is just a matte white. First thing I'm going to do as always is apply Urban Decay's Primer Potion in Sin. I end up squirting out way too much and then having to disperse it between both eyes, but I have been looking at this palette for the last like 15 minutes trying to figure out what I want to do, and it's hard. It's really difficult. This is difficult. I'll tell you one thing that I don't want to do. I'll tell you that first. I'm not really, this shade right here, Dirty Sweet. I haven't swatched these yet. I'm going to swatch them later, and I'm going to be inserting photos or doing live swatches. I don't know yet. But just looking at it, I think a less shimmery version of Half Baked. And Half Baked was in the first Naked palette and the second Naked palette, and I'm really over Half Baked. It used to be one of my favorite eyeshadows ever. I just don't really want to go warm or gold with this. So we're going to start out with the shade Combust over here on the matte side of the palette. And I'm going to use a brush that came with the palette and just use this bigger blending side and put that all over the lid and up to the brow bone. I changed my mind on that and just brought it up to the crease because it's a little bit darker than I thought it was going to be, and it actually probably would work really well as a transition color, but works as a base color as well. I'm going to probably stick to using mainly the brush that came with the palette just for review purposes, and wiping my brush off with the color switch between shades here. I'm going to go into Dagger. I'm going to take that on the more precise end and start building up some color in the crease to give us some definition. Just going to place it with this side of the brush since it's not really awesome for blending, and then go in and blend it out with the other side. It doesn't really like to blend out very well, even though it has a base shade underneath it, and obviously I prime my eyes, so that's a little frustrating. For my other eye, I'm just going to use the crease end, and you probably won't see that, but I'm going to use the fluffy end and just place and blend at the same time and see if that doesn't make a difference on it going patchy and whatnot. I got this side to look better by just going into the same shade with the fluffy end of the brush and going back over it a little bit. As you can see this, or hopefully you can see that this looks a lot more diffused and not nearly as patchy as the side right here, so it's definitely a brush choice issue. It's gonna work best on a fluffy brush. A lot of times with darker shades, I like to take them and place them where I want them before I blend them out, but it didn't work the way I wanted it to this time around. I'm gonna go into the shade here, Password, on the fluffy end of the brush, tapping it off, and you can see I didn't take that darker shade, I didn't take a dagger too far into the corner, like I stopped right here. Because if I bring it in any further, then it's gonna give me that raccoon icky. I already have darkness in there that I need to take care of when I do the rest of my face. So I try and keep like dark colors away from this very inner portion of my eye. Doesn't always work out that way, but yeah, we'll see. So I'm gonna take the shade Password, and I'm just gonna put it right over top of that dagger. It's blended pretty well together, and I don't really see much patchiness that's on that eye. That's mainly gone now. So yeah, I would recommend only using, this is really more of a pencil smudge brush anyway. So yeah, bottom lash line, smoke that out would be what this would be really good for, and possibly the outer V portion of your eye, but I wouldn't recommend placing shadow with it, at least not these ones. And then blending with a different brush, just all in one go. Seems to be working pretty well. Now that we've built some depth and dimension, I'm gonna go ahead and get into some color here, because to be honest with you, the color I am most excited about in this whole thing, and I'm sure I'm not alone when I say that it is Smolder, this one right here. And I just don't want to use it as a crease color. I know it's so dark, but I really want it on my lid, so we're gonna go ahead and give it a go, see how it works out. I'm actually going to use a different brush for this, just because this really isn't suitable for packing lid color onto the lid. But I will use a different Urban Decay brush. How about that? One from the Naked, I think this is the one from the original Naked palette. You can see I haven't used it too much. I'm gonna go into Smolder, that purple, beautiful purple shade. I'm gonna put it on the outside. I think I might use this as a definer shade. I'm not sure. I'm gonna put it right here. The outside portion of my lid, right to about the middle. It's kind of translating into that dark, like if you put a white base underneath this, I'm sure it would show up much truer than it actually does, but it's kind of muddy, I guess. Yeah, the color's kind of muddy. I don't know. You can see it on the brush here when it comes off too. Like, that's definitely not very purpley looking. It's definitely not the beautiful eggplant shade that shows up in the pan, and that is super disappointing to me anyway. Not trying to be a hater here, guys. I promise, I love Urban Decay, and I love a lot of their products and their palettes, so. Alright. It has been decided. I'm just going to use this Smolder color. I'm actually going to go back to the brush that came with the palette and use that definer and use it right on the outside portion of my lid and bringing it up into the crease a little bit to get it more smoked out. And then blending it out with the other side. As I said, I probably shouldn't do that well. And you can't even like hardly tell a difference. It gives it a slight purple tone. Definitely makes it a little darker. This is not going how I expected. It really, really isn't. Sad, sad times. Maybe we'll have things turn around here. Maybe we'll turn around here pretty soon. My fingers crossed. I know it looks so crazy now, but we're gonna get all cleaned up and it'll be fine when it's done. I'm not a big fan of that eggplant color at all. That's like the only color in this palette, I feel like, besides the neutrally, you know, golds you can find anywhere. That's like the one shade that I was looking forward to. So that's that's kind of sad. I'm really sad right now about that, to be honest with you. I was expecting a whole lot more out of it. But I can't win them all, right? So we made everything so dark as a smoky eye should be. I mean, come on. I think that I'm just gonna go ahead and try and lighten everything up in the inner corners and outwards. Actually gonna go ahead and use a more, I feel like we don't have any like sparkles, which is weird for Urban Decay, but I don't have any sparkles in this look yet, and that, you can't have looks without sparkles. I mean, I love things that are matte too, but I'm gonna go into a more, which I can't really describe the shade. It's kind of a taupe with like glitter flecks and stuff in it. Darker taupe. I don't know. I'm gonna take that over the over smolder right here. I'm gonna pat that over. Yeah, that's much better. Next shade I'm going to use is High, and it is, like, I don't know what it is. It's a pink, sort of. It's really, really pretty. I'm going to go in with the other end of this Naked One brush. Going into the shade High and packing that all over the lid. Tear duct area places here. I feel like this High shade would be really good if you were going to do like dark all over the lid, and just to take a little bit of that and pat it in the center. That would give a really pretty glow. Swatch is really pigmented, but it doesn't go on that way, so it could be the brush I'm using too. Yep. Kind of blending the edges in together. I don't know if you guys can see, but that creates a really pretty gradient of light to dark. I'm gonna take the color 13, which is just a matte. It's kind of like a white. It's almost an ivory, but it's more of a white on the fluffy side of the brush that came with the palette. And take that under the brow to just even out any harsh lines and all that good business. Moving on to the lower lash line, I'm going to take this 24/7 Glow On pencil in Asphyxia. It's one of my favorite Urban Decay eyeliners. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to go ahead and run it all the way into this inner corner here. I'm going to smudge it out. I'm going to use this little nubby end here to smudge that out with. I'm going to set that liner with, we're going to start out with Slanted, which is this pretty color right here. And I'm going to use this on the inner, I'm going to use this on the inner part of the liner. Just tapping it on there till I reach about halfway. There we go. We're going to try doing the smolder thing again. On the other half, we're going to use smolder. Same pointy end of the brush. Use Makeup Geek's Pointy Crease Brush and blend that out to create a softer edge. Got quite a bit of fallout from that. Was that what's it called? Slanted? Yeah, Slanted had a lot of fallout, which it doesn't matter to me because I always do my eyes first, but to some people it might matter. And I'm just not super stoked about this lid. This lid that we got going on, I feel like it needs something different. I don't know. I feel like it didn't do something for me. So go ahead and make a last minute change here. I'm gonna try Radar just because I really don't want Dirty Sweet. I don't want to do that right now. I'm gonna put it on my lid right before where I would have had the high as like an inner corner highlight. Just layer that over top. See if that doesn't give us a little something extra. Hi, we're going to go into that again and really highlight that inner portion of the eye. I'm going to go ahead and quickly fill in my brows, mascara, and put the rest of my face makeup on, and I will be right back. Hey guys, so this is the completed look. I did add in a little bit more of the, let me look at the name really quick, the dagger shade to the outside portion of my eyes, as well as I added in some, the liner I used was Kat Von D's Poe to just pop a little color in there, and I used Perversion in my waterline and Tightline as well. Everything else will be listed below. What do I think of this? I think it's a good palette. I don't think that it's an amazing palette. I think that for the money, to have so many shades in one place, I would say that it's worth it. I mean, they're fairly decent sized eyeshadows. They're 1.3 grams of product, which is really decent. I mean, I have two beefs with this palette. One of my beefs is that I don't think, even though the matte shades are really super soft, they're all very, very soft, they don't blend out that great. And the shades like Smolder and Slanted and Dagger, all three of those shades don't really pop, and especially the Smolder one just doesn't show true to color at all. I'm sure a white base underneath would help a lot with that, but you really shouldn't have to do that to have shadows perform the way you want them to perform. So do you need it? No, probably not. Are you gonna get it? You might. I did. So I kind of leave that up to you. You know, if you think it's worth it, then I guess it's worth it. Unfortunately, I don't see myself using it a whole lot just because I have shades that are similar to all of these, which I prefer over them and I would probably use more. I was really hoping that this was going to be my favorite out of all the Naked palettes, because if you watch any of my other tutorials or videos, I really like to smoke out my eyeshadow a lot. It's something I have a hard time not doing. So, but I don't see this as something I will be reaching for as my main, you know, go-to source to do that with, just because I feel I have better options. But it's not a terrible palette, and it does have, packaging is absolutely beautiful, and there are a lot of good things about it. So that is all I have to say. Until next time, I will see you guys later. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, especially if you're new to my channel. If you want to see more videos, I have some ColourPop lip swatches review, that type of stuff coming up. A lot of matte lip reviews coming up. You know, let me know if you want to see me do more looks with this guy, because I can if you'd like. Don't forget to check me out on my social media. I have Instagram and Facebook, and I don't have Twitter, but I do have Snapchat, so check me out there. I mean, I'll snap you back, but I don't really do the whole Snapchat thing a lot. I am on there though, under the same screen name. Everything is listed under ExoPrism Beauty, and all that will be linked below as well. So until next time, I will see you guys later, and I hope you have an awesome day. Bye!